Good day, everybody. My name is Rianna Alberty, and I'm with JVM Lending. I have Bubba Thompson here with me today. He is with Homes by Laney, and he is a real estate agent focusing in Texas. He practices real estate in Austin all the way up to North Texas. JVM Lending, we do residential lending, and we lend in both Texas and California. I had Bubba join me today because he's such a great agent with social media, Facebook, video. He just has the best, YouTube videos and channels. And so I wanted to have him on since obviously with everything that's happened since, the pandemic has begun with COVID. It's been about 3 weeks now since we've really fully been impacted, and a lot of us are working from home. I know Bubba and myself, we're all virtual. We are remote, fully operational. And so we're just really, pushing this information out to be a resource and to try to help, agents that are out there wondering, what do I do right now? And so Bubba, thank you very much for joining me. I appreciate you.
Yes. Thank you, Rianna. Hey, and Rianna, she doesn't just work for a mortgage company. I want everybody to know that she's always out there hustling, helping us agents, doing these meetup groups all the time. I mean, you give us a lot of value. So you're not just, working for a lender. You're going out there, you're helping us, you're giving us tips, stuff that we can do. You and I met at one of the meetups you were holding. So that's how we originally met down here in Austin. So we appreciate what you do, going above and beyond for us agents.
Yeah, well, thank you. I appreciate that. I really enjoy. I feel privileged. I get to work with really great agents like yourself, and I'm learning every day, just like you guys. And I just we're here to come together and share our knowledge. So thank you for joining me.
Yes.
So the first thing I wanted to bring up is just, what's the biggest, this is kind of just, I feel like we ripped off a Band-Aid and now we're here and we're all just kind of scrambling and we're doing the best we can, right? So talk to me about what's going on in your world. I would love to give kind of an update from the lending world after we hear about, what are you seeing right now? What's happening?
All right. So right now in the real estate world, as far as, agents and everything, so the areas are different. So down here in the Austin is completely different than it is up in North Texas. We're still able, as of today, to go out and actually physically show a home if needed. Of course, we're using all kinds of precautions out there. We're making sure if we have listings, we're making sure our sellers, disinfect the whole house. And then we're asking our agents, once they go show, to also, kind of go behind themselves and clean off everything. We're also asking the sellers, if we're scheduling through showing time is what we use up there in North Texas. And we're asking these agents, asking the sellers to go ahead and turn on all the lights, open up any doors. That way, like the agent's showing it, they don't have to touch things.
Minimal. That's so
smart. Yeah. So that's really the main concern, is trying to keep everything disinfected. I mean, there's still people out there that really have to buy and have to sell. So we're trying to accommodate those. I mean, this past weekend, I actually did not go show property because it wasn't a necessity for the buyer. She was just in the process of just looking at the time. She still has a home to sell, but it's not listed yet. So it wasn't a necessity. So we both agreed, like, hey, we're still a couple of months out. So there's really not a need to go try to expose ourselves or others, just in case. We're just trying to be careful out there.
Absolutely. And I think that's so smart. That's all we can do right now. Right. And, and that's right. I mean, I do feel like there's two sets of clients right now. There are ones that absolutely have to, for whatever reason, need to do a real estate transaction. And then there are people that, they don't necessarily have to right now because, they're not being forced because of a family situation or whatever, but they are interested. And I think there's going to be another set of clients that are going to emerge very, very soon, if not already, that are going to be taking advantage of this market to get in front of investment deals. We know, you and I deal with this every day. Austin is a very competitive market. We are dealing with 20, 30 listings, offers on a listing, people fighting for these properties. And obviously this is going to change. Investors are going to have an advantage now because they are going to be able to get in front of these sellers, and they're going to be able to get the investment properties that they've been seeking. So that's a positive that we have to look forward to when it kind of calms down. But I commend you for, really trying to follow safety protocols and do everything that you can, in your world to control that as much as possible. So are you staying in touch with the county? Is that how you're getting the most recent and up-to-date information?
Yeah, well, I'm hopping on the MLSs constantly, and of course we're getting emails when things are updated. So that, and I hop. Yeah, so every morning, I'm hopping on, checking out things just to see what's changed, because you and I both know it's changing daily. Like I said, up in North Texas, we're still able to go and show, but tomorrow we could be on lockdown. I have no idea. So
we'll see what happens tomorrow.
Yeah,
That's
we're
right.
just trying to be prepared for what's going to happen. I mean, it's not going to last forever. So I want to give people hope, knowing that it's not going to last forever. So we're going through a little hiccup. We just got to, stay steady, stay positive, and, be patient. That's the biggest thing right now, is just be patient.
Absolutely. I completely agree. I talked to my grandpa yesterday, and he told me that my great-grandmother, grandmama, she was 16 in 1918 when the Spanish flu came through. She had it. She was in Austin. She was working at the Texas Confederate building, and right by Mopac in Lake Austin. And she had it. She made it through. She survived. She lived a healthy life until 100, and she had antibodies. She never had the flu ever again her entire life. So, I think you're right. I think it's patience. We just need to be just very, very calm and patient right now, and just be smart. And I see that's what you're doing. I know that's what we're doing on our side. And just a quick note, we're going to have everything, all of the links that we're discussing, we're going to have at the end. I have a link tree that will have everything summarized, and I know Bubba's going to be adding links and just different resources on this video for us as well, so that we can have everything organized for you guys. And then I just kind of wanted to dive into, I know that we discussed how, your showings are a little bit different right now. You're trying to switch everything over to virtual. I asked you, I wanted to specifically speak to you because you do a really great job on your YouTube channel, on your Facebook channel, on your Instagram channel, of really communicating, getting your personality through to your clients. And so I wanted to ask you to talk a little bit about just videos, how you're reaching out to your sphere and your clients right now, whether it be video or whether it be another medium, and just giving your, high level tips of what you would recommend agents that are just kind of like deer in headlights right now. They're stuck, people are scared and people don't know what to do. So I just wanted to ask you to give your top suggestions for people.
So right now, video's nothing new. Doing virtual tours is really, it's nothing new. We've been doing it for a long time, but what we're seeing now is more agents that weren't doing that are going to be forced to do those. And so, a while back I did a video on my YouTube channel, is how to do a house tour video in under 5 minutes. It's really simple. Doing it straight with your phone. You don't need any fancy tools. You don't need a whole production company there with you to be able to do this. So it's real simple. So I'm encouraging people to get out there and do those house tour videos. That's really gonna come in handy, and just be, touch base with your title companies, because they're changing too. So they have to do virtual. So there's a lot of different ways. From the beginning to the end, you can do everything without actually, meeting with a client. I get it. Some clients are going to want to actually go physically see the house. That's going to happen, but they don't have to. So you can do the virtual tours through the video that you create. You can do the FaceTime. If they have specific questions, you can go to the home by yourself, and do the FaceTime and zoom in, get closer on some specific items. You can do all your contracts, digital signatures, and then you can send all that to the lender. The lender on your side, you can do those first steps all digitally. Am I correct?
Everything but the notary, and I believe that everybody is working on that. It's all hands on deck to make sure that happens ASAP. And I know it's being slowly rolled out.
Yeah. So you have, I think that's our only step as far as our buyers and sellers. They would have to physically be with someone is the notary, but they have title company. They have mobile notaries, so they can come to you and be in your safe zone.
Yeah, and
wherever
use
that
all
might
the
be. Yeah.
safety precautions.
Yeah. So there you go. And then, home inspections, and you don't necessarily have to be there for a home inspection.
That's right.
So there's that process. And then closing. I mean, I've closed several deals and clients weren't there. Both parties weren't
Yeah.
there.
I
It was
mean,
a mail out, mobile notaries, overnight the packages back in. There you go.
yeah, I remember buying a house, and I was at Disneyland with my family, and we literally signed on our phones, so
Yeah.
and that was 7 years ago. So we
Yeah.
got this.
So
We got this under
this
control.
is really, it's nothing that's new. I mean, everybody's, we're all talking, hey, we're all virtual realtors, but
Mhm.
we've actually been doing this for a while, or most of us have, most agents have. So we're already prepared for that. Some cool tools that have popped up recently. I know some of the title companies I work with, they use a tool. It's called Zocam. So,
Mhm.
obviously we have to deliver earnest money and option money, but with this tool Zocam, you can actually, the buyer can go in and take a picture of the check for the earnest money
Mhm.
and put in the information there, and it goes to that whatever particular title company they're working with, and it attaches that earnest money to that file, and then they can receipt that in like that, so they don't have to actually go and deliver it in person.
It's perfect.
So
I
it's
love
pretty
that.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
I'll put a
Zocam.
link to that below too.
We will. Yeah, we'll provide a link to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, we were talking a little bit about, just your video tips overall. Like, I like to say this a lot, and I use you as an example in my trainings a lot. Your personality 100% comes through in your video. And I think that's the key to really relating to your sphere and your clients and engaging with them.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to ask you to talk a little bit about your top tips when you're actually filming videos. And I know you like to say know, like, and trust a
No, like,
lot.
and trust.
That's
it.
Bubba's quote.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna let you lead with that and go for it.
Yeah. So as far as videos go, you want to create that know, like, and trust. Like I always say, whether you're meeting people in person or doing it by video, either way, people don't buy products from people they don't know. They don't buy products they don't like and they don't trust. They will not do business with you. So somehow, some way, you have to create that know, like, and trust. So, I do it by video. I put my face out there. So all the time on every kind of advertising, you see my face, so people get to know me. Okay, we know who that is. And then, I try to show my personality through my videos. And so hopefully people get to like me. And then I throw in the reviews. I've got referrals. They can go and read all about it. So they start to trust me.
Mm-hmm.
So, building that know, like, and trust. But I want to give, tips out there. We talk about these house tours and these virtual house tours and everything, but don't get caught up in that, because honestly, those are not the videos that are going to help the real estate agent as much as doing videos about the community.
Mm-hmm. I 100% agree.
Yes. So, a good idea is maybe if you're going to do that house tour, also throw in features of the community, like, hey, this house is located near this restaurant, this lake, this marina. Here's what you can do. Here's the playground. Here's the trails around here. That right there, doing videos about the community, the area, and why people want to live there. Yeah. Those are the videos you should be doing.
That's right. And this also comes up in my trainings because listings or just sold are some of the most common, imagery and posting material that
hey, look at me, look what I did.
Yeah, and it is great and it is important, and
we all have to do that, because you want, as an agent, you want people to know, hey, I'm active in the real estate business. I do sell houses. I do list. So that, I call those fillers. You want those house tours in there, and you want those sold and listings in there. They're fillers just to show that you are an active agent. So they're good. Right. You need them.
You do need them, and they are important. Mm-hmm. And I also like to highlight that it can't be your sole content, though, because people, it's the most common thing you see on social media when you aren't a real estate agent and you're looking at that material. And so it's very important to be engaging, like you're saying. And what I love, one of the features that I love that you visit often is highlighting local businesses. So not only is that informational, valuable information for a person that potentially is looking to move there, but it's also, just community support, supporting, small business owners, getting their services out there. they're out there, they're working hard, they're trying to support their community and offer their services. And so you're doing them a service, but then you become the connector, and people think Bubba, and people think, what business is he going to interview next, and he's going to tell me about, and who do I want to support? And I think that is a great angle. And I can imagine right now, especially because especially small businesses are hurting so much with just the economy and what's happened so rapidly. They need more exposure than anything else. They need to be telling the community, hey, we're here, we're doing pickup orders, or we're supporting our community this way. And so I imagine people are reaching out to you right now.
Well, yeah, that's true too. And then I'm super proud of some of our agents that I know up in North Texas. They've created, there was one agent up there that created a Facebook page just for, the curbside restaurants in our area up there.
Nice.
Perfect. So, we're all kind of pitching in, I also believe, I know that know, like, and trust, but I also believe in the give before you ask. So
that's right.
And
that's a great
that's
point.
Huge. Yeah.
Yeah, we actually have, JVM Lending, we lend in California and Texas. So our founder is Jay Voorhees. He is in Walnut Creek, California, Northern California. He will be giving a training for 6 tech resources that we highly recommend agents just have on their radar right now. Easy to implement, very effective. And Jay talks a lot about Gary Vaynerchuk and his book. That's right. There's one of his books right there. And then one of his other books is, I'm going to mess it up. Jab,
right hook.
Jab, right hook.
Yeah, that's
right.
A good one too. I have it somewhere. I think it's in a drawer somewhere, but yes.
And that is representative. I mean, and this is why I have adopted this model in my own business. I think that, I have an advantage because I get to speak and develop relationships and talk to so many different real estate agents and different teams and brokerages, all over, and in California, that, I have a unique value set to add to the agent. So I hear, across the board what works and what doesn't. And so where I become valuable is able to give agents a perspective from a broader level, because I've had so many agents tell me their experience from different perspectives, what worked, what didn't work, what, they would spend money on and what they absolutely wouldn't, just because it didn't fit their model. And so that's where we try to be valuable. JVM tries to add value as a lender.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, the training with Jay is going to be tomorrow. That's Thursday. That's April 2nd, and it's going to be 1 p.m. Central, and we will include a link to that as well.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll be there.
Yeah, awesome. And then anything else? I know that when you're actually shooting, I know we were talking about your mobilizer that you use, and just kind of cleaning the lens. And I see you have the tripod right there. So I mean, it seems like basic equipment, nothing like super fancy.
No, you don't really need anything fancy. I mean, you just need, realistically, you need your phone. You need to have some bullet points about the property. You need to shoot in landscape. I can't preach that enough. Shoot in landscape. Don't.
Got it.
Unless you're going to be on Instagram or something like that.
Got it.
But yeah, shoot in landscape and try to shoot as steady as possible. You don't necessarily need microphones. You don't need the gimbal. But once you get comfortable, yes, gimbals, microphones, nicer tripods, lighting, all that all helps. But you don't need that to start off. The hardest part about all this is starting. You always hear that. The hardest part is to start. Most people don't want their face on video. They really that's the hardest part for some people.
Right. And
you gotta overcome it.
It comes up a lot in my conversations, and I like to just tell people, I think people appreciate authenticity more than anything else. A lot of times when I'm shooting, I use BombBomb for my own business for staying in touch with my agents. I'll just send it. If I mess up, I'm just like, whatever, I blooper and just keep going. And I think that the authenticity is appreciated. And I think it actually is, better for engaging, especially when you're forced to do it in this manner than not. Nobody's perfect. It's not going to be, you don't have to have, expect some polished, production before you can post it. And I always suggest that agents just practice on your Instagram stories. It's going to disappear or your Facebook
Yes.
stories. It's going to disappear in 24 hours. It's a great way to just get your feet wet, get your face on there. And I totally agree. I think know, like, and trust is a great suggestion, and just doing it.
Yeah, you got to build that. You have to build that.
Yeah. Anything else that I missed, Bubba?
I think that's it. I think we've pretty much covered everything. I just want everybody to know that we are moving forward.
Yep.
And stay home if you can. I know some of us have to be out and about, but there's ways to move ahead, keep moving, that you don't have to be out there actually shaking hands right now. Right. I know we all love shaking hands and giving hugs, but right now let's hold off on doing that.
It's worth it to wait. We've been here. This is our third week of just being solely at the house. JVM, we ordered laptops 4 weeks ago, trying to make sure every single person could work from home. We were fully functional to just flip a switch and be remote. And you're right. Better safe than sorry. So
yes. Oh yeah, definitely.
Well, thank you, Bubba, so much. I appreciate it. We will link your brokerage website, which is Homes by Laney. We'll put all the links in our in the end, and when we post this, so you guys can reach out to us, give us a call, give us an email. Like if you have different topics you guys want us to cover, or other things that you're wondering about, or any feedback about this, we would love to hear it. And thanks so much for watching. Thank you, Bubba, for joining me. I appreciate it.
Hey, thanks, Rianna. Appreciate it. Talk to you soon.
Okay, sounds good.